As ever, F-bombs are armed and they will be dropped. No avoiding it today, I'm afraid. Longtime followers of the channel will have noticed that I wear different shirts based on what am I doing. This, of course, is my Hyper Patriot shirt, which I usually wear when I'm being a Hyper Patriot. This one is for when I'm talking about how the United States is going, which is the wrong directions. And this is my mechanic shirt, which I literally only wear when I'm talking about mechanical, technical matters. What do I do when the two of them run literally head on into each other? Well, we're about to find out. Last night at the White House Correspondents Association annual dinner, Donnie was in attendance for the first time in his entire history as president. I find that actually a bit unsettling, but he doesn't have the greatest relationship with media, and I get it. A certain gentleman, who's the only name I have for him so far is Cole, so I will refer to him by his first name, um, went into the building with the intention of assassinating the president. I want to start by saying that there's no shade on the Secret Service members. All right, they did actually an excellent job under the exact same circumstances. I couldn't have done any better. Let's take a look at that. All right, so we have a very bad video of the lobby here, and what we see is Secret Service and other security, I'm sure, agents. They're just kind of milling around. They're bored, right? Everybody's inside who should be inside. Now, off to the left, we have a black thing moving. He just bulldozed his way right on through. You know, he could have had a hell of a career as a professional football uh, wide receiver if he hadn't turned his life to crime. But anyway, let's watch that again. Look at that. That's not even a whole second. As soon as he's passed, the security immediately starts taking out their guns and they're shooting. And they're literally coming out of nowhere. I said before, no shade on security. I don't think I could have done much better in these circumstances, to be perfectly blunt. All right. Back in 1997, I was fired from a security company for a lack of loyalty because I said, hey, there's really big security flaws here, 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 and here. Things that they just did not want to hear. Exactly like what happened last night. Now, I am so sick and tired of this lie, and it is a lie, of saying if you make it impossible for a bad guy to get in, you make it impossible for you to get out. No, no, that's not true at all. It was never true. And I am absolutely done with playing this lie. There's absolutely no reason why any of this happened. Now, I can't tell you exactly who made the security arrangements at the event. I guarantee you that the rank and file Secret Service members, they don't get much of a say, because if they say anything, they'll end up getting fired like I did. I'm getting sick and tired of that kind of thinking, but let's just worry about here and now. There is no reason why you cannot put the same kind of turnstiles into a security area and make sure that only people who are allowed to get in can get in. This apparently happened at a hotel, and of course, the hotel does not want to have turnstiles permanently installed. That would be unpleasant. There's no reason on earth you can't make them a temporary setup and a secured, solid temporary setup. All right. Oh, well, they'll just drive a car through the doors and get through the turnstiles. Yeah, no. Planters will stop a car. I've seen it happen. All right. And if it doesn't stop the vehicle, the amount of chaos it creates, or just coming through the lot, the amount of attention it will draw, would warn security, hey, something's wrong. We probably should start acting right now, like seal off doors from less secure areas, like the lobby past turnstiles, to more secure areas like where the VIPs all are, where the attendees are. Get the president and his family and the other people behind the stage out of the building. Get them to the escape routes. Escape route means one way only. You exit this way. You do not enter. Anybody comes the other direction, they don't have a badge and a gun, they get shot. But it is what it is now, I suppose. The only reason to not install the turnstiles is because it would make guests uncomfortable. You know what? So do bullets. Bullets make you very, very uncomfortable. Depending on where the bullet strikes, you might not be uncomfortable for very fucking long, but you will be uncomfortable for that few seconds. This idea of turning schools into prisons, but because we put turnstiles in that make sure only students and staff can get into the building, or parents with escort, of course, it's just absolutely insulting. All right. There is no reason we can't put these turnstiles in to these security areas. And in the case of a place like the Hilton where this occurred, uh, temporary turnstiles. You can even set the lobby up. The temporary turnstiles can be installed quickly, and they're quasi permanent. You just have to have some beams that you can drop in, two sockets or slots on either side, put everything into place, a few bolts, and it's done. An hour's worth of work would have prevented any of this from being possible. He would have run right into that turnstile, smacked his head, well, maybe his chest, and it had been done. He would have been shooting into the lobby towards Secret Service agents who do wear body armor. I don't know what to tell you. They wear body armor for a reason, and that's it. And they would have all returned fire. He wouldn't have made it out of that building alive. It's just, there's no chance he would have made it out of that building alive, even with body armor. That many bullets coming back the other direction would have eventually hit something very, very important. Like probably uh, the base of his skull, where your lizard brain, the thing that controls breathing and circulation, exists, and he would have been dead before he even hit the ground. But instead, we want to play this I don't feel safe bullshit. Well, fuck you. All right? Feeling safe is what is it they call that? Obscurity through or security through obscurity. This guy didn't have to be a genius to figure out how to bypass security. All he had to do was run through the lobby. Running through a lobby with a gun does not take any great intelligence. All right? It's easy. That's all he had to do. We're actually quite lucky. He had some idea in his head that he was just going to bum rush right through security and get into the dinner. Because if he had decided to have a shootout with the Secret Service right then and there, he probably would have killed somebody. And that would have probably also been the end of it. Now he's the only one who got shot. He'll be alive to stand trial. So great, great, good job. I really want to reiterate that my vitriol is not for the Secret Service agents. All right. even assuming that one of the Secret Service agents was in that lobby at that moment, uh, was responsible in some way for security setup, you know, event security director, or whatever the hell that is they call them. At the end of the day, he doesn't get that choice either. It's time to start taking that choice away from people who want to feel a way and start giving it to people who know a way. This is fucking ridiculous. I haven't dropped nearly as many F bombs in this as I had planned to. So say thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Mr. HLS. Thank you, Gods of Progressivism. Shut the fuck up and stop sabotaging yourselves.